Maximize start over. One, two, time to play. Yeah, not yet. Game of life. Just today. For someone who understands, you sure doing our job. You're like Prometheus and Bob. You are your own boss. The laws of the universe decide who goes first. James Murphy is spinning at my house. I met him at Coachella. All rare shit from Flying Dutchman. Opinions outweigh my doubts. Or maybe I just pay attention. Opinions outweigh my doubts. Or maybe I just pay attention. I don't give a fuck. If I stayed away, I'd go back on my word, 'cause you know I need you, baby. I cry, please, baby. Folding free, baby. I know all that it takes to take you over, baby. I know all that it makes to see you glazed in sweat. I'll taste curse on your lips if you don't give in to me, baby. Let me be the thing you won't regret. Let me be the thing you won't regret. 'Cause if you miss me, baby, you're gonna miss me. Yeah. 'Cause if you miss me, baby, you're gonna miss everything. I can show you the world. I just open my arms. You just open your eyes, and everything will be alright. Run away with me. Let's swim to the sea. Baby, drive it down for me. Let me know you gon' do it. Baby, drive it down for me. See, go 6 hours through the cave, beef. We don't need, I don't need to speak. You know that I'm bad with the words. Goddamn, how you just hurt. Had up in the sky with the birds. I like the way you do it right there. The way you flip it back with the stairs. You know I want you now. You know I want you right now, on this. You know I want you now. You know I want you right now, on this. You know I want you now. You know I want you right now, on this. You know I want you now. You know I want you right now, on this. You know I want you now. You know I want you right now, now. Baby, drive it down for me. Let me know you gon' do it. Baby, drive it down for me. Let me see you go. Baby, drive it down for me. Let me know you gon' do it. Baby, drive it down for me. Oh, yeah, hit up your girlfriend. Oh, yeah, hit up your girlfriend. Oh, yeah, hit up your girlfriend. You know I want you now. You know I want you right now, on this. You know I want you now. You know I want you right now, on this. You know I want you now. You know I want you right now, on this. You know I want you now. You know I want you right now, on. Baby, drive it down for me. Let me know you gon' do it. Baby, drive it down for me. Let me see you go. Baby, drive it down for me. Let me know you gon' do it. Baby, drive it down for me. Let me see you go. Baby, drive it down for me. Let me know you gon' do it. Baby, drive it down for me. Let me see you.
Welcome to Field Notes. Buen provecho. Bon appetit. If you eating, if you chilling. We're going to start the show in 15 minutes-ish. We got Chai Sensei on the build. Sonny and Charles AVP on the build. G, Field Notes. You tuning in live. Welcome to Field Notes. Up first, we're going to have a regular, very near and dear to our hearts. Give it up for Cha Sensei.
Yo, check, man. Yo, source attack. Live shit.
Has shifted.
Sunny. Charles AVP. Give it up one more time for Charles AVP. All right, so if y'all ever been to Field Notes, I'd just like to welcome all of you guys here. And if you've been here before, you know you always welcome. So welcome back. And what we do here is we have 3 artists. They rotate through their sets as they just did, short sets. And then up next, what we're going to do is we're going to bring them all back up. They're going to sit right here. We're going to ask some questions about the process behind the work, the daily habits, different types of things. So give a round warm of applause for our panel of artists. Yeah, take a seat. Relax. Kick back. You in your house right now. Come on, so Chensei. Let's go. All right, y'all gonna have to like taper a bit so you can all be all right. Perfect. All right, so how y'all feeling?
Check.
Check,
Yeah,
check,
we
check,
good now.
check. Hello?
Just give me a quick level check again.
Check.
Hello. Check. Hello.
All right, perfect. So, you guys have a lot of things in common, but you also have very stark differences, as I like to say. So, I'm going to start off with Chai Sensei, and I want you to talk about your process of, because you started off as an MC first, right?
That's right, yeah.
So I just want you to share a little bit about getting your hands on the SP, how it has influenced your process, and what it's done, you know, like adding that extra tool to your toolkit.
Having the SP has been fucking amazing, yo, to my workflow. Yo, I started off, you know, as a lyricist, but before I had any equipment, any studio equipment, I used to record through an iPod Touch. We used to play beats on a speaker, you know, go on YouTube, get a sample, which would be probably MF Doom, Dilla, Lib, or something like that, and we just recorded through the voice recorder with the speaker blast and freestyling over it. So I've always grew up making music from scratch all the time, and you know, watching videos on YouTube, I knew the SP was gonna be my first sampler, period. And I had it for about 6 years, and it's been the greatest thing ever. It's been enhancing my workflow, unlocking creativity. It's been a portal for a bunch of amazing things I've made, to be honest.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask them each a question, and then y'all, it's open for y'all to join in. So for Sonny and Charles, you guys have a bit of a different path in a sense because you guys both go to school, and interestingly enough, there's classes for this type of gear now. So, you know, from our perspective, it's really cool to see samplers really getting into, let's say, academia. But we'd love to hear y'all perspective on what it's like to, you know, be in an organized setting for something as, you know, vast as the SP is.
I think that so Charles and I, we were in the class at our school for that teaches the 404, and I think we were in the first iteration of that class, and I think you know, at school and even personally, the 404 has been pretty recent for me. I'd say I got it at the end of 2024. I can't really tell you why either. I've always been into Dilla, Knowledge, all those cats, and I was familiar with the genre and the style of music. And then I figured that, you know, I want a piece of hardware like they did. I didn't have enough money for an MPC, so I figured the 404 was the smartest move.
For me, it's sort of like the same deal, like, because like the type of beats that the SP kind of drives you to make is, like, to me different than like most of the beats I hear people making on like an MPC. nowadays. Like you can tell the difference like sonically between like an MPC beat and an SP beat. I just think it's really cool just to have this like sort of niche, especially also at Berkeley to be able to have like a class that specializes in like teaching you some aspects of it that you might have not been aware of. It's cool to always be like open to, even if you like for me, like when I was taking the class, I already knew like most of the like technical parts of the SP, like how to get around it and like how to make beats on it, but there's always like new things you can learn from people that have more experience and more wisdom than you. So it's always good to be like open-minded about that.
All right, one more question before I open it up to the audience. But this one is for all of you guys. You know, just a few weeks ago, we were at Berkeley for a Roland event, and we met Koreatown Oddities, and he spoke a lot about the importance of the community out west to, you know, the development as to the scene as we know it. Even just on the Mark II, like they got a lot of feedback from those communities. So I want you guys just to, you know, talk about your experiences in the community, what that looks like for you, and what is the responsibility of being part of a community?
Just pushing the culture forward and the community forward, definitely. Bringing your uniqueness to the table, you know, sharing what you got with everybody else, because, you know, we all here for the same reason. You know, it's art, you know, sharing ideas and music. Music brings everybody together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like what you said, Chai. I would agree, and I'd say that yeah, it's just great to be able to be in a room with people and be able to be with people that not only you can learn from and you know, check out their work and be inspired by their work, but also be able to do the same for people and give back in that sense. And I think that's what community is about to me. It's about sharing and exchanging these ideas, these feelings, and these thoughts.
Yeah, it's also cool about this community specifically is that it's sort of like relatively new for Restoring the Feelings, like almost like a year old. It's kind of like bringing back, like I'm not going to act like I was there for the beat scene in Boston, like in what, like before COVID and like 2018, 2016. Like I wasn't even, I didn't know what like an SP was back then. But, and I really wish I could have been there for it, because it seems like it was such a cool thing. But it's really cool to now be a part of this like new upcoming wave of this like movement in Boston that like I'm witnessing like grow more and more. Like every single event, there seems like I always see new people. So yeah, it's really cool just to be a part of this and to have people that are always here and always supporting you.
Yeah.
You got a question? I got a question. Wait, just say it into the microphone. I know you're comfortable there, but so it's on the stream. My feet's hurting.
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing today? I'm Isabel Esco. I'm from Somerville, so I'm a native here. I've been part of hip hop since I was a kid. So for me, my first love came, you know, hanging out with my cousins in the basement. I want to know what brought y'all to music. What was like, you know, because I know we all have a concept of what we like in music and why we want to be a part of it. But I want to know what was that like, all right, this is what I got to do for my life. Like, there's no other question about it. So I just want to know what was that, this is my all-in moment for y'all.
For me, before it was like rapping, I used to just write a lot. It was like poems or something like that, but it was always like kind of rhyming anyways. And I wrote something around like maybe 16, 17, and it was called like Alone or something like that. Something very introspective, something like that, introverted or something like that. And then my homie saw it, and he was like, yo, you wrote this? And I'm like, yeah, I wrote that. He was like, yo, you rap? And I'm like, nah. But then since then, I carried that. I was like, yo, maybe I could rap and do this shit. So I started doing, you know, rapping, and it started to work out. You know what I mean? And the sound I always wanted was, you know, kind of that sample bass sound. You know, I always grew up with that doom sound. Once I gained my ear for music, that was the sound I kind of wanted to, you know, kind of push forward, was that, you know, chopping samples and loops and, you know, crate digging. And yeah, so it started around when I was like 16, but if it wasn't for like my friends around me, you know, pushing me, saying, yo, you're actually nice, I wouldn't have kept doing it. You know what I mean?
I've started playing an instrument when I was pretty young. my dad really wanted me to be able to play music because he loved music, and I think my love for it started from there. But I think I like that you mentioned your cousins too, because I feel like the whole reason why I even started listening to sample-based music specifically was because my cousin he started out so he's a vinyl DJ, and he used to bring me to whenever he plays sets, and I feel like that kind of built my ear, and it kind of laid the foundation for what I look for and what I hear in music that I love and music that I want to hear and make.
Yeah, for me, I'd say definitely before I got into hip hop at all, I was full on into like playing jazz on the drums to start. Like also as I went on, like learning piano and other stuff too. But so like in high school and like before then, it's like all I was doing was like jazz. It's like that was like what I wanted to do. That's why I went to music schools, because I initially wanted to become like a performing musician. But at some point, like in high school, I realized like jazz and hip hop, as you guys probably know, like are so closely related that it felt like a sort of like easy thing for me to get into. Because like when I started making beats, I was always just chopping up like random jazz stuff that I was listening to, because it felt easy. Even now, like most of the stuff I listen to, like a lot of like Beach Boys, like Bill Evans, like stuff has really rich like harmonic content is really what kind of like gets my brain like makes me feel happiest in music. But yeah, definitely like music that isn't hip hop is what got me like into hip hop. Yeah.
Can I ask another question? Yeah, just one more question. Last question. As we know, raw hip hop lyrics, a lot of that's dying off because auto-tune picks up where people can't be talented at now. You know what I'm saying? As a former raw rap artist turned artist, for me it was like I got to transition, because if you don't become all around, you die out. So for people that are heavily into like samples, the J Dillas, the Mad Libs, the Alchemist type instrumentals, what would you tell someone that's up and coming that's feeling hopeless about his sound?
Just keep doing that. Keep pushing. You know what I mean? I mean, don't let any other sound or anybody else discourage you from what you're trying to do, because what you're creating is flowing through you. That's your creativity. So that don't let nobody deny that, period.
Sure. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'd say more of the same. I would say keep trying to make that record that you want to hear, and then take it however it means to you. I feel like that's the bottom line.
Yeah, just to add on, I think not to label, I think Kenny Beats said this, but not to label your music as like type beats. So like if you're like, it's okay to be inspired by people and to have like a clear like inspiration in your sound, but like not to like stick other people's names like on your music. Yeah.
Thank you for the questions.
I just want to add to that, because I've heard your artistry. I've heard, your range. And I think you should look at the range as a strength, but know that the foundation of your sound is just you. It's just your voice. You don't need no effects. It's just your voice and what you got to say, your heart. And that's not going anywhere. So if you use auto-tune, it could take it to a different way, but it's in your core, and that's there. That ain't going nowhere ever. So just know that that's there. Keep showing up in places where you can feel that and remind yourself that that's there. And that's really what artistic practice is about. It's just that reminder. Yeah, reps, but less of a grind and more of just reminding yourself, So.
And also not to worry about so much what other people are doing. Yeah.
Yo. What's up, y'all? I'm George. I've lived here most of my life. 12 years ago, 13 years ago, I first started going to like beat events here. There was this event called East Meets Beats. I don't know if you guys know Elder. He was running it. And all I kind of knew was like the beat scene in Boston, right? You obviously like Low End Theory, whatever was happening in LA, right? A few years ago, though, this like phenomenon happened. Like beats blew up online, right? Like the whole lo-fi thing. I'm not going to knock it or anything, but all of a sudden now, like, you know, we were making beats like Dilla, Nujabes, whoever. Now everybody was making beats like Dilla, Nujabes. And for me, my gut reaction was like, okay, now I got to figure out like how am I an individual here? Like, how do I stand out? I'm curious what your guys' reaction was at that time.
What's the question? My reaction to just other people?
Your reaction to the beats blowing up, becoming a larger thing online. Yeah.
My reaction to it was, yo, keep going, you know, because that's going to inspire me, too, when I hear other beats and, you know, other crate diggers and what they sample and flip, because it makes you want to dig even deeper. So it makes me want to go harder as well, too, you know what I mean? So not to be discouraged at all. You know, I'm going to keep on moving. But, like, now I only listen to, like, beat tapes, you know, Oblivs and Ginsengs. That's all I listen to now, because I like to hear that, you know, just that craft. I want to hear more of it. I want to hear what people got. So when I dig for mine, I know mine's going to be kind of different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that I mean, I wouldn't say that I was as involved in making beats when the whole beat scene specifically blew up, or the one that I'm assuming you're referring to. But my reaction to it has always been, I just always been curious, you know. Like when I think Knowledge was one of the first producers or people of that scene that I heard, and I was kind of blown away because I didn't know that you could really build a whole record. You could really tell a whole story with just like loops or moments, and I think that just allows you, or whoever that gets into this, to keep innovating and keep reinventing the wheel, so to speak, because I feel like there's so much you can do just off of that.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like Knowledge for me also is a huge inspiration. But like I said earlier, like I wasn't really into beats back then, but seeing what it was at that point, and like kind of like lo-fi now is like extremely like oversaturated, and like people are putting like the label lo-fi on like anything that isn't like lo-fi at all in like any sense. Just kind of like, you know, it's like if you say lo-fi now, like people think of like random like chill hop, like chilled, like whatever study girl kind of music is what like the general public thinks of lo-fi, but people like in this scene like know that it's like more than that. But yeah, what was I gonna say earlier? Like, but yeah, seeing what that movement was like, I've had people tell me about like Nightworks. That was like a big event back when the beat scene was big here in Boston, and I went back and watched like some of those clips of those events, and just like seeing that like really made me wish I was there, and that's kind of what inspires me to keep on coming here and keep on making new music. Like
Bring it
inspired
back.
by.
You guys are doing it.
Yeah, it's exciting.
No, I just have one.
Thanks.
Unless anybody else has a question, I think this is a good time to wrap up the first Q&A. And I think we're just going to go straight into the next set of beats, and then we'll do a little intermission and then come back for the community dialogue. So how about we reverse the order? Yeah?
Up next, we got Cha Sensei.
Yo, check, man. Yo, source attack. Live shit.
Oh, baby.
Listen to me now. Listen to me now. Listen to me now. Listen to me. emsebenzini kanti emakhaya konke la behlangana khona sizanane thandanani emayeloko iyathokozisa iyathokozisa. Solo ngihamba zonke izindawo ngihlangana nabangani bami abaningi. Omunye wathi ngwendon ubangise-disco na ngoba mina ngiyakhona. Wathi kimi asihambisane sonke. Yala ndoda yathi kimi asihambisane sonke. Asihambisane sonke. Yala ndoda yathi kimi asihambisane sonke. Asambisane sonke Yalanda tayathi kimi asambisane sonke Hey hey asambisane sonke Oh yeah Oh asambisane sonke asambisane sonke Friends, friends, friends. Hey friends, my dear friends. Why can't we work hand in hand? Don't depend on the other man's hand. Hand in hand. Oh yeah, will make us friends. Oh yeah, hand in hand. Will make us friends. Oh yeah. Yes, will make us friends. Friends, friends, friends. Hey friends, my only friends. Why can't we hold hands, my friends? 'Cause in my mind, I picture the end, hand in hand. Yes, will make us. Yes, hand in hand. Yeah, will make us. us friends. Yes, hand in hand will make us friends. Friends, friends, friends. Hey, friends, my beautiful friend. Why can't you work like a band? You'll give me a hand. Oh yeah, we'll make us friends. Oh yeah, hand in hand. Yeah, yeah, we'll make us friends. All my beautiful friends, my beautiful friends, my beautiful friends.
All right, I think everybody is back. We're going to finish up this intermission. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes. I know a few people stepped outside. And we're going to go straight into the community dialogue because I feel like that's already what's happening. You know, everybody's just talking amongst themselves. So really, we're just going to continue what we're doing right now. So the artists will return to the panel. And, yeah, we'll just keep having the conversation through the microphones. And we'll wrap the night with another set from each of the producers and a special set from Chai Sensei. So stay tuned. I'm gonna give it 2 more minutes for people to get back.
bathi umisebenzini bathi umahaye kuhle mole kopana tusana ratana kubane go uyathabisa uyathabisa. Ntse ke tsamaya dilo tse ka fela ke kopana le metswalle ya ka e mengata o mongwe a re monna o ntse o ya disco na le nna ke a teng a re monna a re tsamayeng ka fela monna a re monna a tsamayeng ka fela. Arsamayen kafela Amunar Arsamayen kafela.
All right, I'd like to invite the artists back to the panel.
I mean, I wasn't there, but they brought me some afterwards, and it was good. If you ain't have Haitian food from Highland Creole Cuisine, go get you some. They're not even paying us to say that. It's just that good. So now that we have our artists back up here, this is the part. We already had a bit of the community dialogue, opening it up to the audience, but you guys asked all the questions. And this section of the show, they could also ask you questions, so it turns more into a conversation. So you guys kick it off this time. If you guys, a lot of the people here are either familiar faces or new faces, but one thing I like to stress at every Field Notes is that it's always a room of creatives. People are creative in one way or another, and tonight is no different. Rock, paper, shoot to who go first. They both. They can ask you questions, and you can ask them questions.
My crib, you know what I mean? So that's one spot, that's my kingdom. Other than that, I like to be around scenery. Scenics is my second option. Being around the water, looking at the sky, sunsets, that's inspiring to me. So things like that.
I think scenery would be the answer for me too, but I like to choose my environment depending on the kind of sound that I want to get. So recently, and this actually isn't great for I guess just like human beings, but I like to be like in a really dark room, even if it's daytime. I like to close the blinds and really tap into that energy in the beats. I'm sure y'all could hear it too. I feel like I carry that, or my beats carry that kind of trait.
I mean, your name is Sunny though, so we would have thought you was making it in the daylight. That's very off-brand, I would say.
Exactly.
I mean, doing it making beats in the dark is kind of helpful sometimes for keeping yourself honest with how you're beat actually sounds. 'Cause, like sometimes like being around scenery for me, it's like inspiring, but like the scenery makes the music like sound better than it is sometimes. Like sometimes like I make a beat outside, bring it inside, it doesn't sound as good. So also for me, like in general, to answer that question, like the place I live at right now, I used to just have my SP like on my desk, and I noticed like I could go for like a month or two without even touching it, like when it's at my desk. So I moved it to my bed because I have like an outlet right next to my bed. So like I plugged it in there, have it like near my bed, so if I ever want, I could just like move it over. It's like kind of sit up and turn it on, because like I like bed rot like all the time. So like I'm like might as well like have my SP there to like be like in my comfort spot and like have my be able to do my beats there. Has really helped me like recently, like having it more like readily available is helping me like make a lot more music recently. It's like being in a comfortable spot.
And if I can add to that real quick too, like also when I'm making beats at the crib, you know, I transfer music from hardware to hardware. You know, I use PO33s, laptop. You know, I got the SX, the A, the MKs. So I be at the crib. So usually when I'm doing that, I also need something in the background. So I love to watch classic anime as well too. That's on mute, and I pull samples from that as well too. If I hear certain things, like little stabs and cuts and little phrases or whatever. So I like to have classic anime in the background as well.
Nice. Nice.
What up? Fire. Yeah. Hell yeah. Yo, growing up, Juice is one of my favorite movies, bro. Definitely. Like, that movie is close to my heart. No bullshit. And yeah, yo, I'm a 90s baby, so I love that 90s sound. You know what I mean? So that heavy boom bap, heavy low end, beautiful harmonics and shit like that. That's just my sound. So yeah, movies like Juice, Above the Rim, Fresh, all them shits is like, they live rent free in my head. Yeah. Yeah, actually, starting off as a lyricist, like I said, I was grabbing beats off of YouTube, from my favorite producers and things like that. But then my homie ended up getting a beat machine called The Machine. That's the brand name. It was like another drum pad. That was my first time seeing that. And then he started making beats on it. I used to get those beats from him. And then he transitioned into, doing it on, Fruity Loops. Personally, I like the machine sound. I like pads and samples like that, so I wanted to get back to that sound. So after he transitioned to that, I was like, you know what, I'm going to get my own sampler. I'm going to make my own sound. I'm going to create my own little wave, my own little theme and all that. So, yeah, definitely transitioned to get my own sound. So definitely with the SX, it definitely helped me achieve that. You know what I mean? But, yeah, from a lyricist to a producer, I'm trying to mash those two different styles together.
I think that when I'm making beats, I like to think of layers, and I'm sure like every other producer, beat maker, whatever, they think of that too. But I I think the way that I think about them that leads to what you just described is I like my beats to have kind of a subliminal layer to them, in the sense that I like to put things in maybe unexpected places, or I like to sample a variety of like percussion with different textures. I kind of like to hide them throughout the beat. So so obviously, you're gonna hear the kick first, you're gonna hear the snare first, the sample, whatever. But I can't remember who said this. I'm pretty sure it was I think Dilla might have said this, but the idea was no, actually this was Kanye West. I remember now. There's a story about him where he locked himself in a room and he listened to the same loop or the same track over and over again for like hours straight. And I think one of his collaborators witnessed this, and when he was asked why, he said that he liked to listen through to the beat to really hear and feel the layers beyond just what you're hearing. And I feel like that builds a lot of my philosophy when it comes to layering drums or picking out samples or just I think every step of the way I think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so my first one that I used was Ableton. I've been using it the longest for like probably 5 years now. So if I also whenever I like make like sample chop beats, I always do it in Ableton because that's how I'm most like familiar. I've kind of like made my own sort of unique like sample chopping workflow in there that kind of gets me like a sound that I like that I struggle to get on both the SP and like other DAWs. So whenever I want to do that or do something fast, like I know I can work like insanely fast in Ableton. It's just like I'm most familiarized with it. So like if I want speed, if I want like really technical chops, I go to there. But if I'm ever in the mood to try something new, I've been using FL for like a few months, and learning new software is like really fun for me. Like I play a lot of video games, and like learning a new DAW kind of feels like learning how to play a new game. Especially FL seems very video game-y with like all the buttons and like all the sequencer and like the piano roll all seems like very like built in the same way that like a game would be. That's kind of how I think of it. But also FL, as many people know, has it's like a very distinct sound for like trap. A lot of people use it for trap beats. Like I make a few trap beats every once in a while. That's kind of what initially inspired me to get FL, was to try to like lean into that sound more, to maybe have a portfolio of like a certain type of beat I can like show to artists, like kind of bring in like extra income at some point. I mean, I like making trap beats too, but like not as much as I like making like this sort of like, I would call it like underground, like niche sort of type of instrumental beats. But yeah, overall it's just like fun. I like learning software, learning all the shortcuts. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely anime, sports, fashion, clothing, lifestyle, those type of things, my family, all that.
Actually, boxing is more for me. I kind of I think of a spar or like when you're going against somebody. I kind of perceive that rhythm and that energy that's being communicated in that, and I feel like I can't really explain it in a way that I feel like actually makes sense. I just think that the energy that I experience when I'm doing that and when I'm cooking up, they're kind of linked somehow. They carry the same weight, and I feel like I just did that this morning. I woke up, I made some beats. I boxed with my roommate for a little bit and went back to making beats. It's just rinse and repeat until I'm fully gassed out and I can't keep going. Yeah.
For me, we already talked about the, environment a little bit, but environment is the main thing. It's when I'm back home, where I live in Connecticut is very rural, a lot of nature and stuff. I live right next to a graveyard. It's right across my street. It's that sort of colonial sort of town, and interestingly, that sort of environment doesn't get me going at all. I really struggle to make beats when I'm at home, as opposed to here, Boston. When I'm a thing I do every day is I just play some shit in my headphones and go walk around outside, just looking around and seeing all the buildings and all the lights. And there's some buildings I see that kind of trigger it reminds me of a certain sound of a beat, and just walking around here in Boston gets my brain firing off, and it doesn't really in my hometown. So yeah, just seeing things, seeing signs, lights, stuff like that.
I have a question for lyricists, MCs. So I wouldn't consider myself an MC or a lyricist at all. I've basically no experience with that. So I just want to get a perspective on when you hear a beat, especially say an SP beat, a beat that's really swung or it's really off kilter or whatever. I guess I want to ask what things are going through your mind. Are y'all hearing the flows in your head? Are y'all trying to catch a flow in the beat, or how? Yeah.
Wait, I got this one. So you mean when we hear you say off kilter, so a crazy SP beat where you're
or just something weird, something maybe a weird ass beat, not weird as in weird as in it.
Well, it depends. I feel sometimes producers can do too much and not leave room for the lyricist or the MC. And sometimes it's just good to listen to those beats. But as a lyricist and an MC, it's really that ear for those pockets and those space. So when we're listening to a beat, we're listening to where, there's room to add that essence of the human voice, of tone and cadence. So that's what I'm thinking about. I almost see it as the waves, and it's where is my vocals going to blend into that and add that element that is going to give it a deeper connection to our audience, which is humans.
Yeah.
And humans always like to hear voices.
Right.
Even production, great production uses a lot of vocal chops to give that essence. So that's what I think of. What you think of, Ethan?
For me, I'm gonna be honest with you. Since a little boy, I was that kid that always knew when I hear something yo, that sounds like so and so, can jump on it. But after a while, I started realizing there's a lot of people that infiltrate and then they impersonate. So with me, I'm big on organic sounds and I'm big on organic feelings. So some people call it flow motion, some people call it the art of flow. And for me, it's when I hear a beat and I automatically got a song for it, that's how I know. You know what I'm saying? Because every beat already has a song within it. You just gotta find out what that song is.
I agree with that too. Yeah.
Have you read a lot of books?
To be honest with you, I probably read
question I asked? Oh. Oh, I was just I guess trying to see what the MCs think and what goes on in y'all's mind whenever you hear beats like this, like maybe from today. Yeah. Yeah. Is there is there anything, or I guess like when you listen to a beat or a piece of music, it must speak to you in some way. And I think the question I want to ask here is, what what about a piece of music does that the best way or the most effective way? Like what about that music or that or the beat that you're listening to? What's like the loudest way it could speak to you, so to speak? Mm. Thank you. Yeah. Awesome.
What's y'all's preferred method of working with like rappers or lyricists? Is it together, like in the studio, where you send them a beat, let them rap over it?
I haven't been to that point, to be honest. Everything I make, I purely make, at home for myself, to be honest.
Me too.
I've had so actually before coming to the States, I did a good amount of work doing beats and just whatever for rappers, R&B singers, and the like in Vietnam. And I think through all of my experiences, I like to be in the room with the person, and I would. This kind of goes off of what Paul just said too. I really would like to get to know the person and understand them, because I feel like when you're making art like this, it just feels so insincere, and it doesn't feel genuine to just send somebody something and then like never meet the person. Yeah. Oh yeah, right. Sorry.
Love that. That was great.
On a quest for retirement items, talking to Jassoon about rare records to acquire. Pulled out a shirt, didn't feel like ironing. Put it on wrinkles, still look flying in. They bite your style, then it's all we got more. Society dance when the tiniest violin plays. We all just trying to keep the rent paid. In 1841, Anthony Edwards and MJ would've used their hops to jump up and grab a bale of hay.
Get hype.
Just go.
Yo, check, check, check. Yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna spit some bars for y'all. Little something, I got you. So the track that Pierre put on the promo, that Peace and Love track, that was off my first EP from last summer. Source of All. Sorcerer Pack 1, Source of All. The track is called Peace and Love. So we're going to play that real quick. It was produced by Jackson Hollows. Soul Recipe. Yeah, check.
Yeah.
Right.
Cha. Abby Jackson on the beat.
Yeah. Check.
Source of the pack.
Right. Yo, peace and love, but love could also hurt you. Chase your heart's desire, leave behind what doesn't serve you. These nugs are purple, get stoned, Han Solo, no circle. And burn too, through the moonroof in these streets I swerve through. Universal, I'm elevating past the bird's view. Bumps and hurdles, catch me high stepping in these dunks by Virgil. Hey yo, I can't be categorized. Stay away from shit that's over-advertised. Smoking, strategize, metallic vibes. Pour a glass of wine and come catch the vibes. We spending 45s and staring at the gorgeous skies. The flesh was born to die, but the soul's immortalized. And in between, I believe there's something more that lies. Emerged when I was needed the most. Chasing dreams, what I'm reaching, you can't see it up close. Search and grind in due time, it reveals and it shows. A bloodshot third eye, shoot laser beams at these foes. Peace and love. Yeah. Peace and love. Yeah, there's one more. This next one is by me. This one's very abstract, very colorful, lots of chops in between. I think this one kind of describes what that last conversation we was talking about, how a beat makes you feel, how it hits you. But yeah, it's called Time Capsule. Pink blossoms blowing in the wind, unlock your potential from within. Learn mistakes from your losses, then possibly you'll win. Shout out to my kin, the globe spins off ends and sins. Riding with my bro Van, top down, 96 SL Benz. I remember back then, never seen before, never seen since. Life quick to test you with a quiz when you blessed with these gifts. Paddle shifting to your legs with the tents. Manifested like a genie's last wish. The scenic road was closed, I had to take a detour, change course. With these bars I flame torch. Fire red Jordan 4s, Dr. Doom on the surface board. Hey, yo, you better get out and find what you're searching for. But you gotta watch the signs and listen in. View this life through a gifted lens. My diamond mind shines, I'm a hidden gem. The soul never dies, flesh expires, then I live again. But mixed from a different blend. You couldn't hold a candle, get diminished in the wind. I came equipped to win, I float above, I hope that's sinking in. I sit in zen, I'm getting Sid with the pen. The story was heavy, but the book was thin. But was it facts or not? Looking back the sky and reach for the stars. The wine was looking like peaches and apricots. Classic anime on the Magnavox. And trained like Evo like when you had the box. Rockin' baklavas, take my kids to comic shops. Watch the sunrise by the mountainside. The breeze blowing, spirit glowing, it's what you got inside, nigga. Yeah, cosmic energy harnessed inside this child, nigga. Yeah. Check the vibes. That's what I got for y'all.
That was Chai Sensei, yo. And that's going to wrap up the acts for Field Notes. Feel free to hang out for a little bit. We're going to start cleaning up and stuff. Thank you guys for coming through. And stay tuned for next Restoring the Feeling event. We got another cypher coming up on the 24th. There's a freestyle workshop tomorrow. And yeah, man, stay tuned, stay connected. Restore upon the blood clot feeling.
I knew you come back around. Take 2 steps, jump, and make it splash. I forget the past, but I feel disattached. Can't forget the stash. Pack my feelings in a black bag. That T-quarter pack. 2 posts in our past. That this would the last, but we both know this won't last. You said you missed the days when we was flying. Don't ask me if I stay. Patient, waiting, crush your mind day to day. Standing ovation, making it clap, trying to make me stay. Lost in the matrix, you're no agent. When you talk, I hate it, but your ass is amazing, yeah. Lost in the maze, who let the ball out the cage? Matador, can't get fooled by the cape. Can't get fooled when you play the fool, just another rule of the game. Last time I got played, it's the last time I get crazy. I knew you come back around. Take 2 steps, jump, and make it splash. I forget the past, I feel disattached. Can't forget the stats, pack my feelings in a black bag. Petty part of pack, 2 posts in our past. Say this was the last, but we both know that won't last. You said you missed the days when we were flying. Don't ask me if I stay. Don't ask me if I stay.
Mic check 1.
They say we wildin' for it. Bottom of the barrel, I might have to get a grip. Talk is talk, I toughened up. Quick to start a quarrel, so don't tell me get a grip. Bottom of the bucket. Know that it's some sharks, we gon' make you see the fin. Know that it's an art, where we fight until the end. Stop with all that talk, only action make amends. I'm feeling real contentious, know that we smell the tension. We see your muscles tensing, we hear your heart pop, and getting apprehensive. I shown enough discretion, don't think you comprehended. I think you need to show respect. Animosity pressing, my patience spreading thin. Don't come to me with your questions, you know where it begins, Lord. Hope you know where this gon' end. Stop with all that talk, only action make amends, yeah. Unquestionable proof. This one for my youth, ain't no strap up on our boots. Hand me down economy, do what we gotta do. Babylon surrounding us, hoping that they don't shoot, Lord. So it's motherfucker law. Nothing but some predators, red and blue on the prowl. Hunting with some radicals, itching ready to draw. Nothing could heal the scars from all the hate in they hearts. Said we wildin' for it. I might have to get a grip. Talk is talk, I toughened up. Quick to start a quarrel, man, don't tell me get a grip. Bottom of the bucket. Know that we some sharks, we gon' make you see the fin. Know that it's an art where we fight until the end. Stop with all that talk, only action make a mess, yeah. Unquestionable truths. This one for the youth, ain't no strap up on our boots. Hand me down economy, do what we gotta do. Babylon surrounding us, hoping that they don't shoot, nah. We screaming motherfuck the law. Nothing but some predators, red and blue on the prowl. Hunting with some radicals, itching ready to draw. Nothing could heal the scars from all the hate in they hearts. Bottom of the barrel, I might have to get a grip. So don't tell me get a grip. Yeah. I might have to get a grip. Credit fucked up, that put bills in my name. Debt lump sum, could've used it for my dreams. All is said and done, they should've paid me for my stay. Dropped out third year and hot to the high seas. Energy different, so the weak don't like me. Aura glow beam, got these ops here frightening. Lightning, please don't spite me. Will it all into existence, for my doubts we fighting. And still I would've changed a damn thing. If I had another chance, I'd do exactly what I did. If I had another chance, I'd live exactly how I live. Half a ton of piff, taking hits I never missed. And still I would've changed a damn thing. If I had another chance, I'd do exactly what I did. If I had another chance, I'd live exactly how I live. Half a ton of piff, taking hits I never missed. Starlight reflects on